So you're looking at your house that has had a fire and deciding what to do as far as rebuilding or fixing goes, and you feel like you're being trapped in a corner by your insurance company. Today I'm going to share with you what options I think you should be able to have. I am not your insurance company, so I am not going to stand here and say this is what your insurance company will let you do. But I would go back and ask these questions to your insurance company to see if these are options that you have. Shortly after our house fire, we had talked to our man who dealt with our house part of it, or the rebuilding process, and we had thought that we had to rebuild our current house exactly how it was to be able to get our money. And that was not exactly what we wanted to do. And we kind of felt like we were being pushed in that direction, and we didn't realize that we had options. And we sat down and talked to him on the phone one day, and he laid out all these different options that we had, and we're like, oh, we can do that? And it just opened up so many things for us. And so I would like to share with you just some options as far as rebuilding goes, what that looks like, maybe some pros, some cons, and just some things to think about when you work through this process. If this is helpful to you, I'm going to link down below in the description my playlist of house fire videos, and also I'm going to link to a Facebook group that I have that you can come and ask questions and see what you can learn from other people just like you who have been through this road. And I am in there also to answer questions, and feel free to ask away. So what your insurance company is going to want you to do, they're going to bring in a contractor who is going to look at your house, make a list of everything that is there, and they are going to want to hire that contractor to fix your house. Why? I think it's just because it's easier for them. They have their best interest in mind. If they can cut a contractor one check and they come in and they fix as much as they can with that amount of money, that's super easy for the insurance company. Whereas if you hire a contractor or you do it yourself and you submit receipts, it's a little more work for that person at the insurance company. It's their job, but I think that's part of the reason they push for the contractor, for their convenience. Personally, I would not hire whatever contractor the insurance company recommends. Why? Because they're working for the insurance company. They're not working for you. Now, if they recommend somebody that maybe you have a working relationship with, go for it. But usually it's like a big company out of a big city that you've never heard of before, and I would not go with them. I would look for my own contractor. Some other things I think you can to consider is when you're rebuilding, also consider what has gone through your house. When we had our house fire, it started in the garage. We had our van in the garage. We had a lawnmower. We had chemicals, grossness. And that's where it started. And that's what all went throughout our house. That stuff lingers. I don't know if you've been back in your house to smell it, but it's going to stay there. And that's never going away. We didn't want all of those chemicals and grossness exposed to us for the rest of our lives. So when we went back to consider, we had already been considering moving in the next several years, but it wasn't on the forefront of our thoughts, just sometime down the road. So this has actually spurred us on to move out of where we were and to find a different house. But consider that when either a contractor comes in and says, we're just going to leave this 2x4 here, it's charred, it's disgusting, but we're going to leave it here. Is that really what you want? Or are you going to try for something else? So when it comes to your house, the options that I think you should have are you can fix your current house as is. So you're going to take your house, if it's standing, not standing. Obviously, if it's gone, you're going to rebuild however you want it. So depending on where you are in that, if part of it's standing or if it's completely gone. So either fix the current house or rebuild from ground up. And I would encourage maybe even getting rid of more than what they would recommend, just that whole grossness coming through into your house. So rebuilding Do you have to keep the current layout that you have? This is a question that I've heard several times. No. They are not going to force you to be like, you had this exactly like this before, you have to do it exactly like this again. Now, they are going to pay for what you had before. So say you had a bathroom with just a regular old generic tub in it. That's what they're going to pay for. You decide to put in this really nice soaker tub, they're not going to pay for that whole thing. Can you do it? Go for it. But you're going to pay the extra $1,000 or whatever on it. They are going to pay you to fix the tub as it was in your previous house. I'm sure these numbers are not accurate, but say your tub was $400 and you put in a $1,000 tub. They're going to pay you $400. You're going to pay the extra $600. So change up your layout. Make it work for you. Just realize how that kind of works. So your layout does not have to stay the same. Work with your contractor. Make it work for you. Yeah, you've been placed in a stinky situation, but guess what? You can turn those lemons into lemonade and make something work for you. So if you decide to stay in the house that you have or you decide to rebuild, make it yours. Make it work and do what you want to do. Now, realize there are some financial implications behind that. You can't just go extravagant and insurance is going to pay for it. That is going to be partially on you. So you got as well, but this is your chance to get part of those repairs paid for. Now, you can also build at a new location. Maybe you're like, I want a new house, but I don't want to be here. Maybe it triggers you to be back in that same location because you were there when it happened. Whatever, you weren't planning on staying there long term, so this is your chance to move. So maybe you want to build at a new location. That is an option as well. Once again, they are only going to pay what was there at your previous house. They're not going to pay for the whole new house. And I would ask your insurance agent how that works. How do you need to submit those receipts? How is that going to work? And make sure, if there's one thing that I've told you, make sure you get it in writing and make them email that to you, because I also learned you cannot trust insurance people. One we worked with was amazing. One we worked with, not so great. And she would make up stories. She would not stand behind what she said. I refused to talk to her on the phone because of that. Make them give it to you in writing, especially for something big like this. That way you have some ground to stand on if you need to stand on it. But you should be able to build somewhere else, get it in writing, and they should pay you for what you had at the previous house. So that would be another option. Once again, it's probably going to be more expensive, but you've got to do what's right for you as well. Or you could also, this is the option that we chose. We bought another house that was standing, good condition, we could have moved right in, but there were some changes that we wanted to make. So we took the money that insurance gave us, we paid off the mortgage of our house that had a fire. A neighbor actually bought that house, they fixed it up, and they now rent it out. We put in our contract that we did not want that house to sit as is, that they had a year to make changes on it, so that we just didn't want like a half-burnt house sitting for our previous neighbors to have as an eyesore, and they hate us for the rest of our lives because we moved out and we left this house here and we didn't do anything with it. Really, we didn't care as long as they made it look presentable. So we sold our house as is, we moved to another house, and then they paid for repairs on this house. Now, once again, we decided to put on a metal roof on this house. Our previous house had shingles. So when they paid us out, they paid for what the roof would have been at our previous house for shingles, and we had to pay the excess to put on what we wanted for the long term. So we made this house work for us, and they ultimately paid for part of our repairs on this house. So once again, sticky situation, but take those lemons and make lemonade and make the situation work for you. One other little tidbit is, as you get the list back from the insurance company of all the house repairs or all the house things that were destroyed, so look that over and analyze it and make sure that they got the right information. Because one, if your house is on the ground, they don't know what's there. And two, they're going to miss some things. If you think about going through your house and writing on everything that's there, they're going to miss things. Example, we had this tile backsplash that was not pretty in our old house. And would we ever put it back up again? No, but they missed it. And so we were able to say, we had this tile backsplash. It's worth more than just a drywall, and you're going to pay us for that. So that went in, and we got some more money for it. They put that we had our windows in our old house were older. They probably needed replaced, but they put them down as single hung. They were double hung. Double hung windows cost more money. And so they had to go back through and they changed that, and we were able to get more money because we had double hung and not single hung windows. So little things like that they might seem small and trivial, but when you get to the end and you have this big picture of, several $100s that was missed here and $100 that was missed here, and you now have $3,000 extra to work on or to make the house that you have the house that you want, it adds up. So dig through that. If that's not your thing, maybe have a contractor come back through your house and look at it and see, what the differences are. So I hope that helps you. I would love to answer questions. Join my Facebook group. Check out the other videos. Let me know if there's anything that I can do for you, because I would really love to help you get to the other side of the situation, and to get to the other side of the situation as a better person, in a better place in life, and in a place where you can help others. Because it's not a fun place to be in, but I know that you can turn it around for good and use it for other people as well. So I will talk to you again later, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.